Hello and welcome to the third round of the OWC Championship here in the IVRC. We're here in the beautiful Montreal, Canada. And with that, let's quickly go through the grid. On pole, Franco Cestari. Second place, Manuel Arlindo. Technically Kenneth Rockland, but he received a +3 penalty after an incident with Manuel Arlindo in Austria. Position 3, Tobias Kress. Position 4, we have Mark Stricker. Position 5, we have Kenneth Rockland. Position 6, Francesco Vasquez. And position 7, Bess Sibbles. And position 8, Christian Alvarez. We're back now on stream. Yeah. And the race should start any moment now. Ah, yeah, a couple of drivers still on track. That's why the race hasn't started yet. And there we are. Let's quickly find this camera angle. 42 laps here in Montreal, Canada on the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. The cars line up on the grid. I think 2 cars still missing on the grid. 1 car still missing. Is everyone on the grid now? The lights go on. And it's lights out and away we go. Manuel Alindo seems to have the best start on the grid. We'll go into turn 1 leading. Franco Cestari gets overtaken on the outside, then inside by Max Twerker, I think it was. And Manuel Arlindo is leading this race after turn 1. And Max Twerker spins, and another spin, I think. That's Alvarez, was it? And Twerker. And Cestari. What happened there? Let's watch a quick replay of that. You see Mark getting away good. And he gets touched by Cestari. And Cestari then picks up Alvarez as well, and he hits Stwerker. Very unfortunate. Alindo leading in front of Vasquez. Then Rockland, then Crest, then Stwerker, then Stibbles, then Cestari, and then Alvarez. Alindo's back coming hard there. Tenths between Arlindo and Vasquez in 1 and 2. Brazil against Argentina. Right now for the lead. Oh, Vasquez goes a bit wide there. And has now Rockland, as it seems, directly behind him. And he goes wide again. Oh, slight touch, but he keeps in front of Rockland there. But already starts picking up time against Manuel Alindo again, while Tobias Kress goes straight in that chicane. Manuel Arlindo still leading this race. Then Vasquez, Rockland, Quest, Worker, Cestari, Alvarez, and Stibbles. Oh, Arlindo misses his braking point, and now we're very close to each other, everyone. We could see an attack from Vasquez soon. Arlindo again brakes on the inside, loses a lot of time, but keeps first position. While we see Crest hit the wall in the background, and we see Vasquez against Rockland. They slightly touch, but nothing too bad happens there. Rockland, I think he had to go straight there. He lost time. On the long straight again. Vasquez goes on the inside of Arlindo. Arlindo brakes later. Both get the corner. Arlindo still leading the race, and Vasquez misses the braking point and takes the lead. And gives up the lead again to Arlindo. That was a bit unfair. Now Rockland is there. They touch slightly. Arlindo almost goes too wide there. Scrappy battle between the first three here. Tobias Kress has done some mistakes. He's losing time now to this group. And now Vasquez again, better run than Arlindo. Out of the hairpin. Goes to the inside. Attack. Or Arlindo closes the door aggressively there. And again aggressively from Arlindo, who closed the door there. Stwerker meanwhile in 4th place now, after overtaking Tobias Kress. And we see Chestari, who has problems now, after that start collision. Back to the battle for the lead and the win. Rockland now with an attack against Vasquez. Slight touch sends Vasquez a bit wide. Arlindo, he can't really get away from that group. The only one benefiting from that will be Max Stwerker at the moment. Oh, again slight touch, and I think Vasquez kept the car straight. Rockland takes P2 there. Oh, Arlindo drifts more or less through that corner. Through the last corner. Rockland against Vasquez now for 2nd place for now. Rockland is already making time up to Arlindo again, who's struggling in that first sector. Tobias Kress also struggling, only in P7 now. Well, we have this little 3-person group at the moment for the win. And Stwerker is coming in rapidly as well. Rockland's back goes there a little bit into the last chicane. And now he has to defend from Vasquez. And Vasquez takes 2nd place from Rockland again. And now it's going to be Vasquez against Arlindo again. But Tobias Kress is DNF. What happened? Came into the pits. Drove out again. Hit a cone. Oh, and hits the wall. Keeps going. Oh, and then hits the wall heavily there. And is out of the race. Oh, and Rockland must have done a mistake. He's now down in fourth, and Vasquez has taken the lead. But Vasquez also now has to take the escape road there. How did Vasquez take the lead of this race? Oh, collision between Rockland and Arlindo, that's why. And now Vasquez is leading. We see in the back Arlindo, Stwerker, and Rockland in a close group. And Vasquez could be the beneficiary of that. Where does Mark Stwerker attack? Good chance, might be the hairpin coming up. Looks outside, Arlindo goes wide there. But Stwerker doesn't seem to have a good run as well. He's getting attacked by Kenneth Rockland instead. Looking for the slipstream. Oh, Arlindo hits the Wall of Champions there. This could be the chance for Mark Stwerker. Vasquez in the meanwhile with the fastest lap of the race now. Let's drive for a lap with him while he does a mistake here. We see that right front tire quite worn already. Strategies, as always, interesting to see which strategies the teams choose to do. And Stwerker has taken second place from Arlindo right now. And is now 4.1 seconds behind teammate Vasquez. Oh, and Arlindo goes wide there again and now gives up third position as well to Kenneth Rockland. Now there are gaps between everyone. Vasquez still leading this race. And he's now getting hunted down by his teammate, Mark Stwerker, presumably. Vasquez ahead of him, already Alvarez. Could get lapped, Alvarez there. Stwerker now with the fastest lap of the race. Let's drive with him a little bit. His front tires look relatively good still. Well, he's now going to try to hunt down Francesco Vasquez, his teammate. He wants to close down that gap. But Vasquez is not a bad driver. Rockland is not too far away from Max Dworker here right now. He's keeping up the pace with him. This might now be a race that's going to be decided in the pit stop period. Manuel Arlindo had to drop back a bit here. Well, there's a yellow flag. Why was there a yellow flag? Oh, because Bestibbles is Bestibbles! Who parked the car in the wall there. She's now down in last place without a front wing. She's now going to rob the car back into the pits now. Arlindo lapping her right now. Stibbles now in the pits for new tires and a new front wing. Gets going again. Let's go back with these two, battling for second position, Max Dworker and Kenneth Rockland. Repsol Swinnegal Racing against Warsteiner Swinnegal Racing. Well, they lapped Christian Alvarez and the other Warsteiner Swinnegal Racing there. And Rockland seems to be the faster person right now. Looks for an attack on the inside. And takes second place. Great maneuver from Kenneth Rockland there. Can Max Dworker counter? No, not yet, at least. Oh, Dworker hits the wall there. Let's hope that doesn't compromise the handling of the car too much. As we approach the pit stop windows more and more. This is at the moment the only real battle on track. Rockland against Dworker. Vasquez also stays out. Is going to pit first. That's gonna be very important, very deciding in this race. And Dworker goes wide there. Seems like Rockland can now close the gap to Vasquez even. Oh, and almost loses the car there on the braking zone. Let's drive a little bit here with the leader, Francisco Vasquez. As Rockland has gained a lot to Max Dworker, who was involved in the lap 1 incident and is somehow still in the race for the win here. And Kenneth Rockland was the fastest lap of the race. The man in P2 hunting down Vasquez. Hunting for his first victory after he got unlucky in both Spielberg in the last race and Sao Paulo in the first race. He's hunting down Vasquez. We can see how he's gaining time to him. Has he preserved the tires better at this point? Must be the question. As he's closing down the gap fast to Vasquez. Another fastest lap of the race by Rockland. Max Twerker as well can't keep up this pace with Rockland in third place. Rockland looks like the man to beat right now on track. And we see how he's gaining on Vasquez. He's now already within 1 second of Vasquez. I think everyone is going for the one stop, it seems. Oh, 3/10 now between the first two. But then battling could enable the chance for Max Sturcker to gain time again. Rockland slipstream. Outside. Leaves Vasquez the space to then switch back. They touch slightly, but Kenneth Rockland takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Vasquez tries to do the attack. They touch again and Vasquez retakes the lead. Very aggressive there from Francisco Vasquez. How can Max Sturcker now play a role in this? How can he benefit from them fighting? Oh, slight lag there. We apologize. Worker has done a mistake. He has dropped back. But what mistake has he done? Let's look at it again. Oh, he spins the car here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's go back for the battle for the lead here between Rockland and Vasquez. Rockland now back in the lead. Attack from Vasquez, no. Denied. Alindo stays out. What is Cestari doing? We are definitely in the pit window of this race. Cestari, I think his car is heavily damaged. He's just trying to get consolation right now. Can Rockland now pull away from Vasquez? Vasquez does a mistake there. Goes wide. Comes back on track. When are the first drivers coming in for their pit stops? Vasquez is the first to come in. Vasquez in the pits. Vasquez is now trying to do the undercut. New set of tires. Where does he come out? Can now go again. Can now accelerate. Where's Arlindo? There's Arlindo. And he comes out behind Arlindo. Rockland leading. Yellow flag there. Yeah, again, because of best stibbles. Sturker, Arlindo, and then Vasquez. I think this is now a battle on track, actually, from the two. Manuel, Arlindo, and Francisco Vasquez. For on-track P3, Vasquez goes wide there a little bit on the dirt. This has been a very bad timing for Vasquez to do the pit stop. He's now in traffic against Arlindo. And he now overtakes Arlindo, who does the switchback and keeps third place and almost spins the car. And Vasquez now takes third place. Rockland stays out, Stroker stays out, Vasquez will obviously stay out. What is Arlindo now doing? Or Arlindo very aggressively just to cut into the pits. Arlindo in the pits now though. He's probably going to drop back behind Chistari. He is. Driving out now. The stewards will look at that incident between Arlindo and Vasquez there at the pit entry. The pit entry on this track, notorious for these things. Arlindo 5th now. Let's drive with the leader Kenneth Rockland, who is staying out for another lap. What is Mark Swerker doing? Also staying out for another lap. Chestari is now the interesting piece, and P4 isn't driving the best of his races. Had an absolutely abysmal first lap, unfortunately, and we see the damage there on the side part of the car. The car must be a nightmare to drive. Is he coming in? No, he stays out for another lap as well. Rockland stays out for another lap. What is Stworker doing? Is Stworker trying to do the undercut? That's going to be interesting now. Yes, Stworker is now coming into the pits now. He's doing the traditional one-stop strategy. Coming in after exactly 21 laps. Where is he coming out? Was 11 seconds behind Rockland. Now has a fresh set of tires. I assume he will come out in behind Vasquez after the pit stop, even though Vasquez lost time against Arlindo. Oh, this could be closer than anticipated. No, it isn't. How much is it? Ah, it's quite a bit actually, but Stworker has definitely gained time to Vasquez here. What is Chestari doing? Not pitting. So Rockland now the deciding piece in this race. Staying out the longest. See, now coming in. Now he's coming in. The team reacting to Stwerker and Vasquez both having pitted already. Where does he come out? I assume in first place still. Can now accelerate. No one inside. There they come around the corner in the background. And Kenneth Rockland still leads this race. Chestari still not pitting. The only driver now in the top 5 who hasn't pitted yet. And Kenneth Rockland leads this race. And at the moment it looks quite dominantly. 10.5 seconds in front of Vasquez. So far hasn't put a foot wrong really, especially since he gained that lead and Vasquez went into the pits. That was the crucial part. Gained 10 seconds on Vasquez in that period. Stopping early was presumably, as it seems, the wrong decision here from Vasquez. Obviously he's staying out for another lap. What is Chestari doing? This is quite damaged Dome GP powered by Swingle Racing. Not pitting. And Stwerker against Vasquez. Still 1.5 seconds between the two. While Kenneth Rockland leads the race. He doesn't need to push now necessarily. He can manage this in the last 17 laps of this race. Well, I think there's a yellow flag in front of him. I assume it's Best Stibbles that caused that. Yeah. He's now 3 laps behind. And Stwerker has gained time to Vasquez, who's struggling here. So the Repsol Swingle Racing cars are now battling for second position. You see the dirt being thrown up there. And now Stwerker could attack Vasquez. And Stwerker does attack Vasquez. Inside. Takes second place. Vasquez touches him. Vasquez has to go wide. There sends Stibbles. And Stwerker takes second place. Is Chestari now coming into the pits? No, he's staying out for another lap. And he is still leading the race. Kenneth Rockland. And he's just adding to his lead every lap. Absolutely managing this race. But that's still very interesting what Franco Chestari tries here. When is he pitting? He will probably fall back into 5th position. Now he's pitting. Chestari in the pits now. Comes in for his tire change. Will probably be behind Arlindo after this. Yeah, there Arlindo goes past him. And I think it's enough to stay in front of him, even though Chestari can cut the corners here. Yeah. Quite a bit, actually. Alvarez was in the pits and Best Stibbles is out of the race. What happened here? We see the car doesn't have a front wing anymore, so we assume it was a crash, actually. Oh, it looks like she actually drove the car back into the pits and the team decided to retire it. What exactly happened though? Oh, she stood there for a while, was what we last saw from her. Yeah, no real battles now on track. Ragland leading. 11 seconds in front of Stwerker, who's 3 seconds in front of Vasquez. 6 cars now still on track. Rockland not really pushing, he's 1.2 seconds slower than his fastest lap. Just taking his time. No need to over push the car right now. He can let Mark Stroker be faster if it's enough to just manage this lead for the remaining 13 laps. He's having now slipstream as well from Alvarez here. His teammate, who's going to lap for a second time. Oh, this was a relatively fast lap now from Kenneth Rockland. We see on the timing table, we could at the later stages of this race get a battle for 4th place between Manuel Arlindo and Franco Cestari. As Cestari is gaining time on him. Can just manage this now. That's really what he should do, just manage this lead. It's Max Stwerker who has to push. And potentially over push the car. Or we see Alvarez there in the background in the wall. And we see Vasquez had to pit for a second time. Vasquez with a 2-stop strategy. Where are Arlindo and Cestari? Seems to have enough of a lead to those two to stay in third place. Oh, he does the 2-stop strategy. 1 stop was definitely the right strategy to be on today. That seems to be a bit bitter now for Vasquez. Even though he was 8 seconds behind Stwerker, he might now go on fastest lap hunt at least. While Stwerker is still trying to somehow close this gap, but having a hard time doing so. And now we have a battle for 4th place between Manuel Arlindo and Franco Cestari. ATC Racing against Dome GP for 4th place. The championship leader's car obviously very damaged after the start. But he's gaining to Arlindo, and he's definitely in there and put in the fight for 4th place now. Max Stwerker now with the fastest lap of the race. But I doubt it will be enough to catch up to Kenneth Rockland in the remaining laps. We see him having Alvarez in front of him, and Alvarez holding him up a little bit here, as it seemed. And Arlindo against Cestari is now heating up properly. And Arlindo goes wide. Arlindo comes back on track, and now Cestari is close to him. And I think Cestari is now next to him on track. Cestari move inside, they touch. And Cestari takes 4th place. Oh, and Arlindo, that was dangerous, and Arlindo is putting the car in the wall. Still putting the car there, driving into Cestari, and now Arlindo spins. Cestari spins as well. Very stupid maneuver from Arlindo there. Both spin, and Cestari stays in 4th place. This battle is heating up now. And Cestari is now hoping to pull away from Arlindo. While Max Stwerker, another fastest lap of the race from the German. 8.7 seconds now, 7 laps still remaining for him. It will be difficult to catch Kenneth Rockland, if not even impossible. Well, we hear that Chestauri has left the 1 second margin to Manuel Arlindo. It's now over a second in front of Arlindo in 5th place. And we have the feeling Stwerker is pushing. He's trying his best to get P1. Especially after that start collision. No fastest lap here. But this is the leader, Kenneth Rockland. 8.3 seconds still in front of Max Stwerker. Even though Stwerker is now pushing hard, trying anything to close down the gap, and we see Kenneth Rockland is doing mistakes. Oh, and that's Arlindo, who's causing a yellow flag. Is he now becoming a problem for Rockland potentially? Hopefully not. Will surely now receive the yellow flag. And hopefully doesn't hold up Rockland too much, and they contact! That was absolutely some of the stupidest stuff I've ever seen. And it costs Rockland massively. And now we have a battle for the lead in the last 5 or 6 laps. I think it's 6 laps left, and Max Stwerker is directly there. Oh, 2 stupid situations in which Manuel Arlindo was involved. 3 technically with his pit entry during his pit stop. He now causes this to be a race for the win again, and the stewards will for sure look at it after the race. And now suddenly Kenneth Rockland has to defend from Max Stwerker. It looked all rosy until that. And Vasquez in problems. No, Vasquez had to pit again. What happened there? Oh, he hits the wall. And he hits the wall again. He looks like he's having a puncture. And with that, he now is coming in out directly in front of these two. First, Max Stwerker now in front of Rockland. Chestauri, by the way, now 3rd, and Vasquez just drives into the wall there to avoid them. He's now in 4th. Stwerker in front of Rockland. Max Stwerker, the beneficiary of a mistake by Manuel Arlindo. And it looks like he will win the race. It looks like Kenneth Rockland can't go the pace anymore, especially after that heavy contact with Manuel Arlindo. Stwerker now already 1.2 seconds in front of Rockland. And we see the front raft of Rockland doesn't look too well anymore. And it looks like Max Stwerker will now bring home the race. What an unfortunate situation for Kenneth Rockland, who is still fighting with all his might to potentially get his first place back. And I think Stwerker is now just able to manage this first place, manage this gap. And Mark Stwerker, in his first race of the season, looks to win it immediately. What a start of the season for the German. Yeah, Rockland is dropping back now. Stwerker doesn't even need to push anymore. And he's still putting in the fastest lap of the race. Let's drive with him here. 3 laps left for him. Owen Rockland pitted again. He saw he's struggling with the car and decided to pit as he had enough margin for it. Did he underfuel the car? Because I don't think he took new tires. I think he underfueled the car. So he would have probably lost this race anyway. Wow, Vasquez, that's quite spectacular. And Mark Stwerker will now definitely win the race. 2 laps left, Mark Stwerker will win the race. Goes wide here, doesn't play a role anymore in this race. He was involved in the starting incident with Cestari. Drifts now through the hairpin before he's about to go into the last lap of this race. No goes into the last lap of the race. 33.3 seconds in front of Kenneth Rockland. 3rd place Franco Cestari, 4th Vasquez, 5th Manuel Arlindo, 6th Alvarez, and best civils and Tobias Kress with a did not finish. Hairpin. Last time he drives through the hairpin with the huge crowd here. Drives into the chicane. Drives one more time past the wall of champions and wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Or does he? Is this now the last lap? This is now the last lap. I did a mistake apparently. No, this was the last lap. Kenneth Rockland will finish in 2nd place. Unfortunate situation with Manuel Arlindo, who he sees in front of him actually now. finishes the race in second place. Franco Cestari recovers in the end in third place, somehow, after a big accident in lap 1. For him as well, one last time through and passed the Wall of Champions. Builds up his championship lead more. Vasquez through the finish, Alindo through the finish, and Alvarez finishes 6th, also not through. But this man wins the race, and this man will come in here into victory lane for winner's interview in just a bit. Does some celebratory donuts. As they drive back to the pits as we await Max Worker in victory lane at any moment now.
User joined your channel.
And there he is, the winner of the race, Max Worker. Congratulations.
Thanks.
A bit of a contested win today. Let's start with the start. You got away very good. Immediately jumped to the second place, and then got into a little bit of a kerfuffle in the first chicane with Franco Cestari. How did you see that situation in your point of view at that time?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I braked a little bit too early into the third corner, so maybe a bit on me as well. So don't know what exactly happened. Of course, I was a little bit, let's say, not really frustrated, but yeah, it was a little bit of a shocker to get thrown so far back right at the beginning. But yeah, I quickly found my pace. You know it. I always say it, never give up. And yeah, worked out quite fine today again.
Okay, then it seemed in the first stint you seemed pace-wise to struggle a little bit. I assume also because of the damage of your car after the starting incident. But you profited of the entire pack at the start between Kress, Arlindo, Vasquez, and Rockland, constantly fighting for position there. What was your thought process in all of that?
Yeah, I knew directly that I got really lucky on that with Ragland, Cestari. No, Cestari wasn't in there. Ragland, Vasquez, and Arlindo on the three-way fight right in the beginning. And yeah, I thought maybe I could get in there. Maybe I will do some early pit stop or something like that, and yeah, to avoid the chaos. But actually, it worked out quite fine. I had a little bit of trouble overtaking Manuel Arlindo. He was defending really hard, but yeah, worked out in the end.
Then you did essentially the very conservative one to stop strategy, pitting after exactly 21 laps.
22.
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
Because I forgot to stop in lap 21.
you saw Vasquez pit a little bit earlier than you, and it looked like he did a two stop essentially and came in late for a third time. Did it cross your mind at any point to maybe also today go for a two stop, or was it always on your mind and on
No,
the team's mind to
it
go one
was
stop?
absolutely clear I was going a one stop. I didn't know in the beginning when I would do it. I was thinking on putting on the soft tires for the second stint, but tires wore out quite quickly today, and yeah, so it was a very conservative one stop, hard, and go for it.
Okay. And then you were, for most part of the second stint, roughly 10 seconds behind Kenneth, who seemed to have no problems at all to just manage his lead. And then roughly 10 laps before then, just started to slowly gain back time, started to slowly get those fastest laps of the race. Did you, at that point of time, still think you could get that win today?
Yeah, well, not without help, obviously. I have no idea what exactly happened 5 laps from the end. First of all, I was really angry on myself because I definitely knew on that occasion that I couldn't win it on myself anymore. And I brought myself into the situation by spinning, I don't know, roughly uh, 3, 4 laps in front of my pit stop.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty dull. And I don't know what happened with Rockland in the end. I think he was in some squabble with Arlindo, I guess.
Yeah, he had, let's say, trouble to lap
And
him.
yeah, I've seen he was right in front of me, and I just took the opportunity and pressured him right from the beginning, because I was setting fastest lap after fastest lap on that particular situation, in that moment. And yeah, I put the pressure on him as long as he was irritated, and yeah, thought if I can get him, now's the moment, and yeah, worked out. Don't know why he stopped the second time. In the end, maybe he tried to gain back the fastest lap or something like that. But I think he maybe gave up the win on that. Don't know why.
I think, first of all, I think he had a very damaged car. He was dropping back more and more after that. Uh, and secondly, I think because they didn't change the tires, he might have underfueled his car. Yeah. Anyway, congratulations on the win, and have a
Thank you
nice
very
little
much.
celebratory party today.
Not
And
really.
then we will see you presumably again at the next race.
Uh, no, I think I won't be there for the next race, unfortunately. But we'll see.
Okay, then goodbye.
Till then, bye.
User left your channel.
And with that, we end today's coverage. A thrilling Grand Prix for the victory, and a victorious Mark Stwerker in the end. My name's Philip Dome. Thanks for watching, and goodbye, and until the next.